Hello and welcome to English Podcast with Zico. I'm your host, Zico, and I am so glad you're here with me today. Have you ever felt stuck in your English learning journey? Maybe you understand a lot, you can read and listen, but when it's time to speak, you freeze. You worry about making mistakes, you can't find the right words, and your confidence just disappears. If that sounds familiar, you are in the right place. In today's episode, we're tackling this exact problem head on. We're going to talk about how to practice English every day and speak confidently fast. This isn't about magic tricks. It's about practical, simple habits that you can start using today to see real progress. So grab a coffee, get comfortable, and let's get started. All right. So the first and most important idea we need to talk about is consistency. Many learners think they need to study for hours and hours, but only once or twice a week. They wait until they have a big block of free time. But what happens? Life gets busy, you miss a study session, then another, and soon you feel like you've made no progress. The secret isn't intensity, it's consistency. Small, daily actions are far more powerful than one big weekly session. This brings me to my first major tip: embrace the power of micro habits. A micro habit is a tiny version of a new habit you want to form. It's an action that is so small, it feels easy to do. You can't say no to it. Instead of saying, "I will study English for an hour every day," which can feel overwhelming, you say, "I will spend 5 minutes practicing English every day." See the difference? 5 minutes is easy. You can do it while waiting for the bus, during a coffee break, or right before bed. So, what can you do in 5 or 10 minutes? A lot. You could use a flashcard app to learn 5 new vocabulary words. You can listen to one song in English and look up the lyrics. You could write a short journal entry, just 3 sentences about your day. Or you could find a short English podcast, like this one, and listen for just a few minutes. The key is to do something, anything, every single day. These small actions build up over time, creating a strong and consistent learning routine that keeps the language fresh in your mind. To make these micro habits even more powerful, try a technique called habit stacking. This means you link your new, tiny English habit to something you already do every day without fail. For example, after you brush your teeth in the morning, you review 3 vocabulary words. Or while your coffee is brewing, you do 1 quick grammar exercise on your phone. By attaching your new habit to an existing one, you're more likely to remember it and stick with it. It's about making your English practice an automatic part of your day, just like brushing your teeth. This removes the need for motivation because it becomes a simple, effortless routine. The goal is to make your English practice so easy and integrated into your life that you can't imagine a day without it. Okay, on to our second tip, which is a big one. Immerse yourself. You don't have to move to an English-speaking country to surround yourself with the language. Thanks to technology, you can create an English immersion environment right where you are. Immersion means making English a natural part of your daily life, not just a subject you study. It's about turning your world into your classroom. Let's start with your digital world. Think about how much time you spend on your phone or computer. Now, what if all that time was also English practice? Go into your settings and change the language of your phone, your tablet, and your laptop to English. It will be challenging at first, but you'll quickly learn essential vocabulary related to technology and daily commands. Do the same for your social media apps. Follow accounts, creators, and news pages that post in English. Your daily scrolling time now becomes reading practice. Beyond your devices, immerse your entertainment. Listen to music in English. Start watching movies and TV shows in English. At first, use subtitles in your native language. Then switch to English subtitles. This is a fantastic way to connect the spoken word with the written word. Eventually, try watching without any subtitles at all. Find YouTubers who talk about your hobbies, whether it's gaming, cooking, or gardening. When you learn about things you're already passionate about in English, it doesn't feel like studying, it's just fun. And don't forget about podcasts and audiobooks. These are amazing for training your listening skills while you're on the go, driving, exercising, or doing chores. Find a podcast on a topic you love, or start listening to an audiobook of a story you already know in your native language. This way, you'll have context to help you understand. The goal of immersion is to maximize your exposure to the language in a way that is enjoyable and sustainable. It's about creating a lifestyle where English is all around you, making learning a natural and continuous process. This leads us perfectly into tip number 3, which is probably the most feared but most important step. You have to speak. Reading, listening, and studying grammar are all passive skills. They are essential, but they will not, on their own, make you a confident speaker. Speaking is an active skill. It's a muscle. And just like any muscle, you have to use it for it to get stronger. The biggest barrier for most learners is fear of judgment, fear of making mistakes. So how do we overcome this? We start in a low-pressure environment. And the lowest pressure environment possible is just you. I want you to start speaking English to yourself. I know it might sound strange, but it is an incredibly effective technique. When you're alone, there is no one to judge you. You can make as many mistakes as you want. So start narrating your life. When you're making breakfast, say it out loud. I'm opening the fridge. I'm taking out the eggs. I'm going to make some coffee. Describe the things you see on your way to work. This simple practice gets your brain used to thinking in English and your mouth used to forming English words. Another great tool is the voice recorder on your phone. Find a short article or a paragraph from a book and read it aloud. Record yourself, then listen back. Yes, it can be cringy to hear your own voice, but it is so valuable. You can hear your own pronunciation and identify areas to improve. You can also try a technique called shadowing. Find a short audio clip of a native speaker and try to mimic them exactly as they speak, copying their rhythm, intonation, and pronunciation. Once you're more comfortable, it's time to find a speaking partner. There are many apps and websites dedicated to language exchange, where you can find native English speakers who want to learn your language. You can help each other for free. The goal here isn't to be perfect, but simply to communicate. Start with text chat, then move to voice messages, and finally a live call. Every conversation, no matter how small, is a victory. And that brings me to my final tip today. Number 4, focus on fluency, not perfection. This is a mindset shift that can change everything. So many learners are trapped by perfectionism. They wait until they know the perfect sentence structure and the perfect vocabulary before they speak. But that moment never comes. Language is not a set of perfect rules. It's a tool for communication. I want you to give yourself permission to be imperfect. Give yourself permission to make mistakes. Mistakes are not failures, they are proof that you are trying. They are a necessary part of the learning process. When you're in a conversation, your primary goal is to be understood. Can you get your message across? If the answer is yes, you have succeeded. Don't stop mid-sentence because you used the wrong preposition or verb tense. Keep going. The flow of conversation is more important than perfect grammar. Confidence doesn't come from knowing everything. Confidence comes from practicing, from trying, from surviving a conversation even when it wasn't perfect, and realizing that you could do it. Every time you speak, you build a little more evidence that you are an English speaker. That is how real, lasting confidence is built. All right, let's move on to our 5th and final tip for today. Leverage technology. We are so lucky to be learning a language in an age where there are countless tools right at our fingertips. Your smartphone can be your most powerful ally in your quest for fluency. There are fantastic apps designed for every aspect of language learning. For grammar and vocabulary, apps like Duolingo or Babbel provide structured lessons. For building your word bank, spaced repetition apps like Ondi or Memrise are incredibly effective at helping you memorize new words and phrases. But it doesn't stop there. Want to improve your pronunciation? There are apps like Elsa Speak that use AI to give you feedback on your accent. And as we mentioned earlier, language exchange apps like HelloTalk or Tandem can connect you with native speakers for conversation practice. The key is to find the tools that work for you and integrate them into your daily routine. Don't try to use 10 different apps at once. Pick one or two that you enjoy and use them consistently. This way, even a few minutes of downtime can become a productive learning session. So let's do a quick recap. To practice English every day and speak confidently fast, remember these 5 things. 1. Build micro habits for daily consistency. 2. Immerse yourself in English by changing your digital and entertainment environment. 3. Speak, speak, speak. Start with yourself and then find partners. 4. Focus on fluency and communication, not perfection. And 5, leverage technology and use apps to supplement your learning. Let go of the fear of making mistakes. I promise you, if you start applying these simple, practical strategies, you will see a huge difference in your skills and your confidence. Learning a language is a marathon, not a sprint. But with the right habits, you can make every step feel like a win. That's all the time we have for today on English Podcast with Zico. Thank you so much for listening. If you found this episode helpful, please consider subscribing so you don't miss our next one. Until then, keep practicing and I'll talk to you soon.